Yo, it's your boy DJ K-Rock.
And it's your girl Jazzy Face.
And this is Infatuated Podcast Episode 9.
Episode 9.
9. What?
9.
That's
How
not
you say
nueve?
9 in Creole?
9.
Neuf.
That's also French.
9. Yes, episode 9. This is exciting. We're almost at episode 10. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. It's almost the end of the year. So
Yes. Oh my God.
It's a time.
Another New Year's together.
Yep. This is going to be our second New Year's together.
Our second New Year's together. Our first one was pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, it was crazy.
Well, for you.
Yeah.
Because I was fine, but I was kind of drunk, but you were like done up.
We were all done up.
We were done up. Everybody was done up that day. But unfortunately, we might spend it with the same crowd with the same two people that we spent it with last year.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately this year we can't. I mean, we were probably going to spend it with them anyway.
Yeah, I'm not getting that drunk though. It's not happening.
There's no reason to.
Yeah, no, it was.
We might, because fucking with Era ass.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
We might. If it's New Year's Eve and it's at his house, he gonna try to get us drunk. We live like 2 minutes away from each other, so at this point it don't really matter.
Yeah, that was.
If I die.
Yeah, that was a crazy time, man.
It was crazy.
I
threw
up in the Uber.
Yeah, that's nasty.
And it was wild. So I don't know.
I mean, it is what it is.
But it's the end of the year. It's a time for reflection. It's a time for resolutions, New Year's resolutions. So we will definitely want to hear what your New Year's resolutions are.
Yes.
Because in the next subsequent episode, we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
And
I love that.
Manifestations and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to cover that in our next episode. So definitely jot that list down of the things that you want to accomplish next year. And let us know in the comments, what you plan on manifesting, releasing, and doing for the upcoming year. And we'll share.
I can't wait to talk about that because I have so much things. I'm not going to share everything, of course, because it's not okay to share like your manifestations, the full list of things. But I definitely want to share like a general thing because, I mean, it's important. Why not share with everyone? I mean, that's not going to change my manifestation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's get into the topic.
So tonight's topic is is love language.
Okay.
Right?
He thought of the topic, so I'm intrigued to see what you got to say about that.
Yeah, so we're talking about love language tonight. And when I speak about love language, we're going to talk about basically if you really know and understand, I'm not saying you, but
right.
if you know and understand what your love language is, meaning what you require, what type of partner that you need or spouse you need in a relationship, and have you taken the time out, right, to really understand your partner or your spouse's love language and what they need. Right?
Got you. So you basically want to know, so you want to basically see if we understand each other the way we say we do.
Exactly.
And if we don't understand each other, what are things that we can do to better understand each other?
Exactly. Because sometimes there's a disconnect. You say you understand each other, but do you really, really understand what your partner needs? Do you understand what type of spouse or what type of counterpart or what type of lover your spouse needs? And does your person that you're dating or that you're with, do they understand what type of, spouse and what type of counterpart that you need?
Right. No. I don't think that, can I go first?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
All right. I mean, I'm trying something new, okay? So this is a perfect example. Like, I am just stuck in my own ways. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like that in my relationship with pretty much anybody, like whether it's like my boyfriend, my mom, my sister, my brother, whoever it is, like I'm always like just like this person who's kind of like unreachable in certain ways. And I think that I have to do a better job at understanding everyone around me because I have been in this bubble for so long that it's actually hard for me to come out of it. So I'm like in one of those, what are those little white bubbles called, where you're like in it by yourself, kind of like quarantining in my own thing. And I knew and I know that I'm in that bubble, but I'm okay with it because I don't because I'm just fine with it. I don't want anyone to reach me in ways that I don't want to be reached. But then you have to understand, like, are you really even present? No, like you're not even present, and you're fulfilling yourself, but you're not, looking out for others, emotions and things like that. And that's something that I really had to understand. And I want to say that K Rock actually helped me understand that, because we recently kind of like grew. And the reason I say we grew is because we actually started arguing a lot. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I feel like that was a growing process. Like, we started arguing, and then I could not understand why we were arguing, and it was like the stupidest shit. Like, it was the stupidest shit, and I'm like, yo, why the fuck are we arguing about the craziest things? Like, it went from this perfect relationship to now we're arguing about, like, why you didn't put the freaking I don't know, stand that way. And it was just like, what the fuck are we arguing about? But then, like, I don't know what happened. One day it just triggered me, and I was just like, I kind of like got into an emotional space where I was like, yo, like, I actually love this person. And I took accountability for my actions. Like, I was just sitting there like, I am the root cause to a lot of these arguments, because I keep telling him that I'm not fulfilled with certain things. But then I had to think of the reasons why I'm not fulfilled. And I had to write down on a piece of paper, like, all right, here's the pros and here's the cons. Here's what he's doing to satisfy me, like, on his end. And then on the cons, it's like I wrote the things that he actually was not doing, but that I needed from him. And it actually, the crazy thing is that the pros actually outweighed the cons. And then that's when I had to kind of like take a look at myself and be like, yo, like, okay, it's me. Like, he's doing a great job, but then there's something in me that's still holding him to these higher standards. And I had to really think about those things. I had to look at those things. I had to make some adjustments. And when I shifted those things, like, when I tell you, like, my whole attitude, my persona, like, everything kind of like changed towards my relationship, and it actually made it better. Like, this has probably been the calmest week for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that, but for me, it's like before I even say something, I kind of like take a step back and think about what I'm going to say before I say it. And not only that, I had a conversation with him, and I said, listen, like, these are the things that bother me. These are the things that I need from you. And also, these are the things that I see that you are doing for me. So, and I appreciate those things. So I never want to ask my partner for too much, but I need and anyone who's in my life to understand what I need also. And it's a balancing, it's communication, and that's what it is. But like I said, when I took accountability for myself and my actions, I actually realized, one, that I was hurting my partner, and two, that, I just had to take accountability, because it's not just a one-way streak. It's two.
Yeah. And I just, want to piggyback off what you were saying with the bubble,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
When not just, her, but anyone, when you have barriers, right? And you put these barriers up to protect yourself, right? You got to understand that these barriers work two ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
You keep a lot of things out, but you also keep things from coming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep blessings and you keep things from coming in. So
Right.
it's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand with the barriers. Even myself, I had to understand with putting these barriers up, right? So also, one of the things that we talked about and discussed, right,
Mm-hmm.
is even though you had these high expectations of me, right,
Mm-hmm.
I am never opposed to pleasing the person that I'm with or
Right.
making the person that I'm with happy, right? And that happens to be you.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you have these expectations of me or these things that you want me or you would like to see out of me,
Mm-hmm.
like, I would like to do these things so that I make you happy or make the relationship better, as long as it doesn't take away from who I am to my core self.
Right.
It doesn't compromise me, right? Once it starts to compromise me, then that's where the issue comes in.
Right.
But as long as it doesn't compromise myself, my core values, me as a person, I'll be more than happy and willing to do these things and to compromise, because I'm a compromising person. I like harmony in my home.
Right.
You know?
No, and he's you know what, he's right, because, and it took a long time for and we're still learning. I'm still processing things and I'm still learning. It's only been a little bit, but I can tell definitely the change in me, but I can tell the change in him as well. Like, you know, before it was more so like of a demanding thing. Even though I didn't sit here and say like I need you to do this, but it was like if I said, hey, can we do this, and you kind of like pushed it off, my next thing was to kind of like get into these attitudes. And so you kind of saw it, and then once you saw that, because you're harmonious, you're like, you know what, whatever, like I'm gonna do it. But like, you know, you still have to let the other person be the other person. You know what I'm saying? You can't force them to do things. You have to let them learn as they go. No one's ever gonna understand you 1,000% by just, you know, just understanding. That it takes time, just like it's taking time for me. Like I literally have this new method now, and this is not only for my relationship. Like I said, it's for all of my relationships that I have that are important to me. I'm going to take a second to allow that person to actually emotionally connect with me. And I'm going to, of course, reciprocate that as well, and then see what goes, you know, because I mean, I think that, and I don't want to say affirmations or anything like that. I'm going to save that for next episode, but I think that's something that I definitely want to work on for the new upcoming year.
Yeah, definitely. We're both working on it. And I think, you know, for any successful relationship, whether it be platonic or romantic, that you really have to take time to understand the other person.
Yes.
Even in, you know, a friendship, just like I
Yes.
said, you really got to take your time to understand that person and that person's process. And if you really care about that person and you really love that person, you really have to be accepting of how that person processes things,
Right.
or does things. You know what I'm saying? If they're doing something that's detrimental to their health, now, you know, you could step in and suggest, like, hey, listen, take a look at this or take a look at that. But it's up to that person to take that advice and walk through the door. You know what I'm saying?
1,000%.
So
1,000%. Like I'm just happy that I don't know why. One day I just sat there, and you know what? I do know why. I know why, because one day I was just sitting there and I was like, yo, like, I told, like, and I'm being real. I said to him, I was like, listen, like, honestly, I'm done with this relationship. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to fight. But then I had to really think about it, like, yo, I really love this person. There has to be something that will help. And all it took was me really sitting down and understanding.
yeah.
And it took 2 seconds to really sit down and just be like, yo, like, what the fuck is going on? Let me understand for a second. And when you actually really love somebody, you will definitely take the time to compromise and understand them, because it's important. Like, you want them to be the best they can be. You want to be the best they can be. And you can't do that together if you guys are not sitting down, understanding yourself.
No, not at all. And it's not even a big thing that, you know, we usually argue about, or what.
So, yeah,
It's
no.
like, this is the thing, right? If 2 + 2 = 4, right? And 3 + 1 = 4, we both want 4, right? So we both want the same thing. We both have the same goals. It's just that she does 2 + 2 and I do 3 + 1. She's looking at me. Why are you doing 3 + 1?
Yeah.
It's 2 + 2. And I'm saying 3. It's the same thing. You doing 2 + 2. I'm doing 3 + 1. It's the same shit. Like,
Right.
But she just was like, but no. Like, why are you doing it?
Yeah,
that way?
like,
do it this way.
Listen, here's the thing though. I come from a place, right, where like I left my home when I was 17 years old, like with my parents and everything. And I was on my own since I was 17. You know what I'm saying? I'm 27 now. 10 years, you know, well, actually not. Yeah, 10 years. Damn.
10 years.
That's crazy. 10 years. Yeah, it has been 10 years. But yeah, no, 10 years. And it's like, I've been on my own for 10 years, literally. Like, if you're like, if you know something, like, that's like being raised eating a certain culture of food. Like me, I'm Cuban, so I was raised in a Cuban household eating freaking chuletas and shit every day, right? So I'm like used to that stuff. Like, no one can tell me otherwise. I want that, and that's it. Like, I like other foods, but I'm more likely gonna eat this. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to get out of your way sometimes. But like I said, if like you really sit down and say like, listen, I'm gonna be devoted to this motherfucking diet. Okay, I'm gonna eat salads for a week because I want to lose this weight. Then if you're really serious about looking a certain way, you're probably gonna eat that freaking salad. You understand? And that's the same thing with a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, And, you know, coming from that side, you know, I was raised in a household where it was like I said, togetherness and family and
Right.
stuff like that. So, you know, it doesn't just come from me, and you can clearly see it when you come around my family.
Yeah.
Everyone in my family is compromising, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know,
I
it
mean,
comes easy for me.
you do come from a family, and a big ups to that. You do come from a family who is very tight knit, and you do come from a family of love. I mean, your grandparents are still married. How long did they say they were married? Like 56 years.
56 years.
That's crazy. I love it.
Years.
You know what I'm saying? 56 years. You know, your mom's married for a long time. You know, things like that. So you come from that space, and you know, and they are very compromising for what I have seen. You know, I don't see everything, but for what I have seen, they are. And so I thank God that I have a compromising partner. But there's some people who actually, like me, my previous relationships were never compromising. Like maybe I was a compromiser, or maybe I wasn't, but it was always like boom. You know what I'm saying? So I have a partner who's actually compromising. I think that's something that you were able to show me, because a lot of times I remember, you know, with certain arguments, you would tell me like, well, what about what I need? And it never resonated to me until like I really started to like, yeah, he does. I mean, he does have needs. Because we have a stereotype for me, where women are kind of like the people who need the most, but we forget sometimes that men actually need things too.
Yeah.
So,
you know, and a lot of things that I usually see in relationships, right? There's usually somebody that's dominant and usually submissive, right? And obviously, we all know you're an alpha female, right? So a lot of people will look at us and say, you're dominant and I'm submissive, right? But a lot of times, like, what people fail to see, right, is that
in every relationship,
there's no such thing as a dominant and submissive, and I'm going to explain, right?
Right.
There is a dominant in certain areas, right? So you might be dominant in the household, and I might be submissive. When it comes to my business or our business that we have together, I might be dominant and you might be submissive.
Right.
When it comes to buying a house, I might be dominant, you might be submissive. When it comes to buying a car, you might be dominant, I might be submissive.
Right.
Like,
different areas
we tackle. That's what's called a partnership. That's you guys complement each other, right? So in every relationship, in different parts, there's going to be a dominant and there's going to be a submissive, right? And that's how harmoniously you guys, or you know, us, or if you were in any type of relationship or partnership, you work together.
Right. 1,000%. Like 1,000%. You have to. The message here today is that you have to really understand your significant other. You have to understand other people. I want to say, because like I said,
Even
it goes for
in
any
all
relationships.
partnerships,
Yeah,
even friendships.
it goes for all partnership relationships. You have to really sit down and really understand, take accountability for how you feel, your actions, your feelings, but you also have to really sit down and really observe the other person. Ask questions. If you can't tell off of their movements or anything, make sure you ask questions, and like, how are you today? What do you need from me? Are you fulfilled? You know, little questions like that actually go a long way. And yeah.
Like even with family members, the love doesn't even necessarily have to be romantic. It could be,
right. Of
you
course.
know, like, you know, you ask a sibling or somebody that you love in your family, like you have to understand. You have to take time to understand your sister, your brother, your cousin, like that you love. Like, what type of love do they require? You know?
Yeah. Very important. And yeah, those things are just super important. And it does take time, because like I said, I am not that type of person. And I didn't even know that. Like, it's so weird, because I thought I was very like empathetic to people. Like, I thought I was very like just nurturing and stuff. And I find myself to be, but kind of like this. I'm like, like someone's crying and I'm like, like, so it's kind of like a
not
surface
really warm and
thing.
fuzzy, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, please don't cry.
Whereas more so, if somebody's crying in front of me, I'm like, oh my God, are you alright?
First of all, no,
like,
he is not like that. Actually,
okay?
no,
like,
he's
are you
not
okay? Like, don't cry. Like, oh
that's
God.
still, where is the
I feel
emotion?
bad,
There's still no fucking emotion there.
Internally, the emotions, they're like, yo.
Well,
then I'll call her and I'll be like,
that's what I'm saying.
I'll call you like, oh my God, Jazz, this person, I just feel so bad. Like, you know, like, she's like, Carl, like, I'm like, no, but I'm serious. Like, I feel bad. Like, that's just me. You know?
No. I mean, yeah, but no. I don't know. I still think I'm more emotional than you.
No,
Definitely.
I don't think so.
1,000%.
I think I'm more emotional than she is. And I'm a man.
Nah.
I'm admitting that I'm more emotional than she is.
Nah, I don't think so. This is the thing, like, this is my silent killer. I don't really want to say this on camera, but I guess I'll say it. I mean, fuck it. It's 2020 about to be over. But I'm kind of like I'm a big softie by heart, but like my surface is brick as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you get through, you just get through. But if you don't, then it is what it is. Like, that's how I am. So if I see someone crying, I'm able to kind of like console them in my own way. Like, listen, everything's gonna be good. Like, you're bugging, stop crying. Like, you got this. I'm like that. I'm not the type of person like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry with you. That's not me, like, ever. So it's hard for me to kind of like connect.
Yeah.
That's always been the problem. Like, I've been a very difficult connector. And that's actually what I'm learning how to do, because that shit was ruining my fucking life, my relationships with people. Even my children's relationship, because like even if you ask him, like, my son will fall or my daughter will get hurt, and I'm like, listen, get up, fix your face, and let's act like that shit ain't happened, instead of like enabling their emotions, like, oh my God, I'm sorry that you fell, let's pick up, you got this. But you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to like really realize, and it takes sometimes someone to bring it out of you to understand that this is actually how you've been living your life the whole time, and that now you have to kind of like redirect and reset your life to something different.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a growing process. I'm 27, like I said. I'm growing, I'm still learning, and that's just what it is.
The thing is, you just gotta be able to really grow with the person that you're with, and that's the most important thing. Like,
right.
It's those growth processes, and they will hurt because they're called growing pains, right?
Oh yeah.
So it will hurt. It's not gonna be all warm and fuzzy all the time.
It's supposed to, though, and I'm ready to fall and get back up a million times until I get it right.
But
so I'm just happy that we were able to come to an understanding. Like I said, we're still trying to figure it out together. And like you said, we're going to have some growing pains because we're not done learning each other. I'm sure I'm going to curse y'all probably after the podcast. I'm
hit
I'm
me
going to
with another pillow. Like
something right on the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that too. We have way more coming for you guys. 2021, we have a lot coming. Like, we're planning.
Brewing.
Yes, we have so much that we're planning together. We plan on taking Infatuated, elsewhere. Like, we plan on growing it to other platforms, not just podcasty, but like just you guys will see more of us together working on a lot of projects together. So I'm super excited about that in 2021.
Definitely. So definitely write down your New Year's resolutions, affirmations. Put them in the comments below because we definitely want to read them off on our next episode. Next episode is episode 10.
Yes.
The lucky number 10. And
lucky number 10.
And it's going to be our last episode of the year. So
that's dope.
That's dope, right? 10 episodes.
If COVID wasn't fucking around, like, I would say, yo, let's have a fucking 10th episode party.
I know.
That would have been dope as fuck.
The last time you said the word party, you know what happened.
Man, listen.
The last time you said the word party, you know what happened.
I know.
It was crazy.
I know.
It was an epic night.
It was crazy. And we're coming, man. Like I said, we're growing in 2021. We're coming. COVID, listen, I'm speaking that shit into existence. We'll be out of here before you know it. Things will be open back up, and you will definitely see. No, I'm not taking that shit. Listen, I got his grandmother came from Haiti, okay, and she brought me some shit called something COVID. I took that shit, and I feel invincible.
The Haitian remedies, man.
The Haitian remedy. I feel very invincible right now, okay? So, no, I'm not taking that.
Yeah, no, that's a hard.
I don't want that. Like, I don't know if it's true. You can't trust everything that you hear in social media, but I heard they said that the needle is like this long, and they said that literally it's like because it has to be near your bone or something like that.
In the bone marrow?
Yeah. You heard that too?
Yeah, something
like that. I'm good. I'm all the way good.
No, I'm good.
No, but this was fun.
It was definitely
It's
fun.
always fun.
So like, subscribe, and hit that bell for the notifications for our next episode.
I don't know what that was. I just did it. I see YouTubers do it all the time.
That's the bell, I guess.
Oh, cha-ching.
And definitely like this video.
Yes.
But
share.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to say share. My bad.
Hello.
My bad.
See?
Yeah, share the video.
We here. We connecting.
Exactly. So this has been episode 9. We thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned for your next episode of Infatuated Podcast. It's yours truly, DJ K Rock,
and Jazzy Face,
and we out of here.